Hello, darlings, and welcome to my podcast, Treading the Boards to Business, where we talk all things from sparkle and spotlight to the boardroom and beyond. My name is Shelley Otway-Wood, former actress, singer and dancer, and now CEO of Stepping Out Stars of Tomorrow Theatre School, the Costume Cupboard, and Dance and Performing Arts Business Coach. I am going to share with you some fantastic showbiz stories with my friends and colleagues about their careers in performing arts and beyond. So let's open these curtains and step into the spotlight. Hello, Carrie Ellis.
Hello.
So lovely to have you on Treading the Boards to Business today. So excited. I was just saying, I know we said earlier, I can't remember how long ago it was we did that contract together. Trying to think how long ago it was.
Just a minute. That's when I'd been living in Scotland and came back from Scotland.
That's right.
So is it about 2004?
Maybe, yeah. So I can't remember what shows. So Carrie's background was dancer, singer, actress, and she now adjudicates pretty much. Well, it must be full time and some, isn't it? Adjudicating.
I still teach and I still choreograph. Yeah, I still teach. I do a lot of choreography for like competition work.
Fab. Okay. So, first of all, can you just talk to us about the contract that we did together? Because that's actually quite nice to talk about the fact that we used to run over in the Coronation Street ad break to get gin.
I know, we were that desperate. We were so sad.
We were.
We just didn't enjoy that. It's just a shame because we should have enjoyed that contract.
Yeah.
But I think they do it very differently now. They don't do it like we did it. They do it very, very much differently. Yeah, it was just...
Yeah, it was an odd contract, wasn't it? It's funny because I had Ben Stock on last week and he was talking very highly of you as well. And he's been there a couple of times and he's loved it.
Yeah, he's done Hello, Dolly, the musical.
I know he did.
And it's funny because I did one of Ben's first jobs as well. That's why he did Robin Hood with me.
I thought it was Peter Pan, but it was
Robin Hood.
Right.
He was one of my merry men. I was slapping my thigh. Yeah. And I used to take him. I took him to Joe Allen's for the first time. He'd never been to Joe Allen's. So,
wow.
Yeah. You forget those kind of influences you have on people when you know what I mean? Yeah. And I remember those people that were older than me. I used to think were absolutely, amazing and wanted to be them when I was younger.
Absolutely.
I don't know whether it's like that anymore.
Yeah, I think it's a very different industry, isn't it?
It's very much so.
I was talking to somebody last week about one of my friends that I did panto with years ago, and he's in Kinky Boots at the moment. And he was saying how someone who'd literally just graduated, and he must be probably mid to late 50s now. And he'd said that this very young dancer had said, I've got some notes for you.
Said to him?
I've got some notes for you. Like, would you dare?
Did he not just poke his eyes out?
I think he wanted to.
Slapped.
Yeah. I mean, it's very different now, isn't it? Everybody in some ways it's quite nice in the fact that it's more equal. But I think you're right. You very much took me under your wing. I was quite young on that. Well, I felt it was one of my early contracts and I was a lot younger than a lot of the cast. And I felt very much on my own, in that. And it's funny, isn't it? You always say the best thing about getting the job is getting the job as an actor. And I felt that contract was very much that.
But it should have been a really good job. It was just what it was. It was a bit sort of, there's a lot of people in that company when we went in that had done it many years and ruled that roost.
Yeah.
And all the accommodation was weird. Like me and Phil had that lovely place, but it was miles out in the countryside. We should have had somebody else's property. But I think because we both said we had cars, they went, we'll put them out there. And it was beautiful, but it was antisocial.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was on my own.
But you moved. You were someone who moved, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I think it's very different now. And you just felt like certain people got better digs than us.
Yeah.
And one of the things I always will remember from those contracts is everybody smoked everywhere.
In the rehearsals, yeah.
And I don't like smoke anyway. And I just remember going in, not so bad with Stepping Out, because I don't think anybody did in Stepping Out as such. But when we did the
Matchmaker.
That's not called Hollywood. Huh?
The Matchmaker, wasn't it?
Yeah, when we did the Matchmaker, I just remember going in and it was just horrendous. And I can also remember even when we were on the stage, people literally sat on the side of the stage smoking.
I know.
And I couldn't believe in those beautiful costumes. I couldn't get over it.
It was very odd because, like you say, there was a real generational thing there where people had been there for years and years and
Yeah.
years. And, you know, I remember going into rehearsal room and being quite a young performer and quite naive to everything and going in and going, why is everyone smoking? Like, we're obviously taught, I've just kind of a recent graduate, everyone's smoking in a rehearsal room. I mean, people that are listening to this now who are young, who are like at drama school, just leaving, that is probably mind-boggling for them because
Yeah, but I'd never witnessed that anywhere else
no,
in my
neither
career
had
till
I.
then. I had never known anybody smoke in a rehearsal room like they did. And it wasn't just smoke, it was like the whole room was, well, I hated it. I hated it because I don't like
Yeah,
smoke anyway. And I think also they treated us like we were the dancey people.
yeah,
And we actually weren't.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
We
yeah,
were
yeah.
there in plays. We weren't, I think they thought stepping out was like a little musically type thing without music.
Because
So all the dancers are in that. But that was just rubbish, that, because that was a hard play.
oh God, it was.
Very,
It
very
was.
hard. If you remember, you would be talking, someone else would talk over there. Then it could come like, it was very conversational, but across. Nothing ever carried on.
Really hard. Really,
And I
really
did
hard.
it again, and I didn't enjoy it the second time I did it.
Oh,
And I
really?
played no, I
You
played
played
Maxine the
Maisie. Oh,
second time,
Maxine. Okay.
and Jessie Wallace was in it. Brian Kaplan was in it, but it was
Okay.
that same thing of too many girls bitching, and
Yeah.
that's what ours became, didn't
It
it?
was. It was. It was a very bitchy contract. It
I mean,
was.
poor Phil got the brunt of
Oh,
everything. Yeah, yeah,
I know. Phil was our Jeffrey, and he was wonderful, wasn't he? Bless him.
he was brilliant. I did see him not so long ago when I was adjudicating in Hull, and it was just like it just hasn't changed. I mean, we've all changed, but they were just like it's that I can't explain. It's that generation of people that the way we were. I don't know whether they're like it now. I don't know. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, I
Do
don't do
you
it
still
anymore.
perform, Carrie, now?
No, I miss it.
Do
No,
you?
I stopped performing basically. My father got really ill, and then I was up and down. Then when my father passed away, my mum kind of went a bit to pieces. So I kind of was here and there and not. And in the end, I just went, well, I'm going to stay up here. And I did work from here for a bit.
Yeah.
And then it
Where are
just
you
seemed,
now?
you know what it became before I left? It became understudies were more important than you. Have I never told
Right.
you my Phantom of the Opera story?
No,
So
but I'd love to hear it.
when I was in Phantom and I was playing Carlotta, I played it for 2 years. I
Yeah.
think I went off in the whole 2 years. I think it was 3 days because basically I couldn't speak. And in the first year, that was. And in the second year, I never went off. I even did it with laryngitis, Carlotta, because that's not because,
Wow.
and it came to my attention. This girl said, I just need you to know that, can't remember her name, her father is going to offer to pay you to go off because she wants to go on. And I went, I'm sorry. And I just knocked on her door and went, come and talk to me. And she just, and she said, my parents want to come and see me do your part. I said, it's not my part anyway, because so many people have done this part before me.
Yeah.
And I said, but I'm not trying to stop you from going on. I had a 4 days holiday and I was going off to New York with my boyfriend at the time because it was my 40th. And I wanted to save that money for that. And she kept saying, are you taking your holidays? Because my parents want to come and watch me do your part. I kept going, it's not. Anyway, she never got on. And then I heard she used to be in the company office every single night crying and saying she has no right to be on that, doing that part every night. I'm her understudy. I should be doing it.
How
And they were like,
random.
no, you can't. No, you can't tell Carrie to go off when there's nothing wrong with her. That's her
No.
part. And it got and when I did Jerry, that was the same. I had a very young girl understudy, and she was just a nasty piece of work. We were sat in rehearsals once, and the MD said to me, so this bit's up to you, Carrie, you can stay up or go down. I said, oh, if I'm up, I prefer that be up. And she went to me, well, what will I do when I go on for you? And I went, well, I won't know because I'm not going to be there, am I, if I go on? And and she got a comeuppance in a way because I didn't really go off until one day when I had no voice, and the company manager went to me, because it's you, because people, because I had a good reputation of rock going on, I'm going to give you another hour. He said, but just to let you know, your first cover's off. And I went, okay. Now my second cover was lovely. And anyway, I tried. And it was too hard of a sing, Jerry Springer. Anyway, the second cover went on. But funny enough, the next night I was still off. She came back, that girl. Do you know what I mean?
Did. Yeah,
And it was just ridiculous. It was just ridiculous. It was like, and that's what it became. And it was like, And then we weren't sure the show was coming off, and I'd booked some time off, and then I went, I'm not going to take it now. Oh my God, you thought I'd kicked you in the face. You can't do that. And she shoved a door in my face and called me an effing bitch. And
Oh my
her
gosh.
agent was ringing me up and saying, we've got people coming in to see you. And I went, well, I'm really sorry, but I need the money.
Yeah. And it's your part.
And it's my part. Oh no. Oh, she
It's
hated
weird,
me with a
isn't it?
vengeance.
Because we are and I've spoken about this with another podcaster last week, and we are the generation where we wouldn't go off,
No,
unless
because,
we were dying, we
yeah,
wouldn't.
no,
And it's not like that now. And,
I don't know.
you
I
know,
don't know what it's like. I mean, I know in Phantom, we had a lot of opera singers, and it would be like, I'm off. I'm off. And you'd be like, oh, okay, I'm doing 2 top E's every night, but don't worry about that
you
one.
go off.
It's a different generation as well. I just think we were brought up probably differently,
Yeah, yeah,
trained differently, possibly. I mean, the good thing now is there are more triple threats now than there ever were,
yeah,
aren't there?
yeah,
Um,
definitely. How do
but
you
I don't.
find, because obviously now you kind of adjudicate and you adjudicate all over the country. I love watching your Facebook because you're always somewhere different. And how do you find that the dance industry's changed in
It
every
is.
way?
It is very different in different areas.
Oh,
It's
okay,
really
that's
bizarre.
interesting.
It is bizarre. Um, you tend to find the North have what I call this fire and passion,
Okay.
because there's always been that North-South divide,
Yeah.
and everybody in the North has always had to fight for what they get. Whereas in the South, it's a bit I don't know. They're really good. But it's very, very different. I can't explain it. A slightly different attitude to what we have up north. I don't know. Um, Standards are still amazing. It depends on where you go. Different areas they may be better at the classical, or they may be really good at the musical theatre, or they're good at the tap. And tap, everywhere I go, is so different.
Yeah.
Very, very varied. Very, very varied. You get a lot of, I would say, in the northeast, it's bangier tap. In the northwest, it's more rhythmical, beautiful tap. And so lower down, everybody does tap attack, which is quite bangy.
Yeah.
It's not bangy, it's just different. But if you don't do anything with it, it's not very exciting.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know
Because
what I mean? Just different
yeah,
style.
because if you think about, like stepping out, that's very kind of musical theatre tap, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
That kind of real, very, very different. How do you find young dancers today? How do you find, because obviously you teach still as well. Do you feel that there's still that kind of passion to perform that we had?
it's a very different. Well, I don't actually. I sort of have stopped teaching in colleges because I got to the point where I have to say that they thought they knew more than me. So
Yeah,
I started being a bit like, okay, and quite disrespectful, very
really.
disrespectful. Yeah, it could be. Um, I mean, I just taught in a college in Blackpool. It's called the Blackpool Theatre Collective. It's a newish college, 2 years. They only
Mhm.
have small year groups. They don't want big, 15 in a year.
Nice.
It's one of the lads I did Cats with years ago, and I went there last week to do like a bit from Chicago, like all that jazz, and they were just a breath of fresh air. And very
Um,
all different, all different. Some were more actors, some were more dancers, some were more singers, some could do a bit of everything. Some had come into it going, we don't know why we're here, but we really want to do it. It was just wonderful, and they all wanted to learn. It was lovely, and they want me to go back in it. That was really, really lovely. It was really lovely. I think now, do you not think there's so many colleges now, and so many big years in colleges as well? I don't know how you stand out.
I mean, I was looking at Lane actually a couple of weeks ago because I wanted to go and see their showcase, and their year is like 160,
Yeah,
170 in a year. I mean, you're like,
yeah,
how would you
yeah.
ever
How
get
do
picked?
teachers remember you? Yeah, I know. I mean, when I went to Art Said, I think there was 15 of us in my year. That
Yeah,
was
I
it,
think there was 23, 24 of
and
us.
that's what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, at GSA there was, and that was divided between musical theatre and acting. So,
Yeah.
maybe 15, like you say, yeah, 15, 16. And that's the thing with the colleges now, isn't it? That when we were auditioning, there was very much like the art seds, the GSAs, Lane's Birds, maybe and probably Italia Conti. Whereas now there is hundreds of I mean, literally,
Oh
I
yeah.
I business coach now, as you know, and the amount of people that I coach that are going to set up colleges, it's such a saturated market.
Oh, it is, and I nothing. I mean, I went when I was 16, and you did in my day and age because you went. I mean, my mum wanted me to do my A levels, which I said I would do at Arts Ed, but I never did because my favourite jazz class was on one of the days, and she never forgave me for it. But then again, later on in life, when I gave up, I did all my qualifications and I did a degree and I did all sorts of stuff, you know.
Yeah, okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting. What, in
yeah.
dance?
When I finished, I then wanted to get my fellowships because
Okay.
that enables you to do other things. I did my Cert Ed, I did a drama in education, and then I did a degree through Rose Bruford that
Okay.
nearly probably killed me off, really, because you know, when I was at school, you wrote. Now it's everything. I mean, if I could have talked it, I mean, I got a 2. I get a 2-1. I mean, I nearly gave it up loads of times because I don't know how I did it. So I was working full time, adjudicating, looking after my mum, and I don't know how I did it, but
It's crazy, isn't it, when you go through those times? You just think, how did I navigate myself through that time? You know,
I mean, going to
you know?
London at 16, you know, you're like,
Yeah.
and I've looked at my nieces going, could you? But I think now they've got these BTEC courses, and I think there's a lot of them, and there's some very, very good. And I don't know whether some kids going, oh, this is what I want to do, but they don't really know that that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
Whereas we did. That's what I want to do that since I came out of my mum's womb,
Yeah,
practically, you
same
know.
here. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Um, and I'm not saying, I think it's more accessible now. It wasn't as accessible for us because you didn't have musical theatre clubs and stage, you know, you didn't stagecoach and all that. You didn't have any. I'd never done drama. I was only talking about that last week when I went, absolute drama absolutely terrified me. I just thought, what the heck is this? Please, somebody get me to do a pirouette and sing a top C marvelous. Somebody get me to stand and no. I had to really, I got, you know, I got through it in the end. And
But
I
you're a
teach
great
drama.
actress.
Yeah, but yeah, because I suddenly went, you have to. I call it stepping over the line and being brave. And once you
Yeah.
get it, and I do teach a lot of drama now as well. So it's like it's so bizarre. And I always go, who doesn't like drama? I always put my hand up. They go, and I go, no, I used to not like it. Now I don't. I love drama now. I love it.
Yeah.
It's a great, yeah,
Because
acting.
actually, knowing you as I do as a performer, and you know, obviously in the contracts that we did, you did the matchmaker, and you were a fantastic Mavis in stepping out. And was it just the two you did?
I did the 2, yeah.
The two.
Did you not do another? Did you do another?
I did. I'm trying to remember what I did. I did Man and Superman,
Yeah.
stepping out, and the matchmaker. Yeah, I did three. Maybe I did four.
That you did 3. So what they
I did
tended to
three.
do, depending on, I think it's because my 2 parts in those were quite big. I think that's
Yeah.
why they just gave me the 2. Because like Phil, was he in the same one as you? Can't
No,
remember.
no, he didn't do Man and Superman.
No,
I'm trying to think
the,
what else was in that season. The Steamy was in that season, which obviously none of us were from London because you had to be Scottish to be in that.
yeah, he was in something like a murder mystery.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
the
think he
one
had
that
a
Guy
great.
and Fiona were in.
Yeah, I don't think he had a big part in because he kept saying to me, "Oh, I wish I wasn't in that." I know, because he had. I think I was just lucky, but do you remember those rehearsals where in the morning you'd be doing matchmaker with all the cigarettes? Then in the afternoon you'd do a session of stepping out without the cigarettes. And then you might do an evening of matchmaker and your brain would be like that. And do you not
Yeah,
remember I had to be the choreographer because Rita
yeah,
had
she
broken
was
her
broken her
ankle. Well,
foot. That's right. Oh my goodness, I totally forgot about that.
she rang me literally before I was coming. She said, oh, just, do whatever you want, Carrie. Right, I'm only doing Mavis. Don't worry, it's fine. And do you not remember then when she did come back, she was really horrible to us all and kept changing everything. And we were all like this going, because we had some people in that company that weren't dancers or tappers,
Yeah,
and that was the idea of it anyway.
yeah.
And I got it, and then she was like, "Oh well, I don't like that." And I remember her keeping me and Phil back, and basically Phil and I did that end really. We
It
kind
was
of
lovely
worked.
that
I remember
yeah.
we went and drank a lot of alcohol after that session. I remember that, but it was just weird because I'd never seen Rita like that. She was quite. I don't know. I'd worked with her before in Honk, and she was lovely. And I don't know whether it was she was aggrieved because she couldn't come back because she was doing this job, and maybe she wasn't getting a very good time. I don't know. There was something not right when she came back.
Yeah, because I did Oliver with her
Yeah,
afterwards, and she was lovely. I
yeah,
loved working with her.
exactly,
It was great.
exactly.
But yeah, in stepping out, maybe it was the foot injury. I don't know.
Yeah, and maybe she'd had a lot of hassle from them. I just don't know. They didn't even know. Do you remember? They didn't even know
Yes.
she wasn't coming in to do it because they suddenly went, "Oh, so I believe you're doing it." I went, "Yeah, I am."
And
I
how
wasn't
mad is
thrilled.
that to be in a show that requires a huge amount of tap with everybody else, but you're choreographing it as well? I mean, that must have been a real, like thinking about it now and knowing the show the way that we both do, that is it's a bloody nightmare.
Yeah,
Like,
I literally
how
found
did
that
you
out
do
a few
that?
days before. She just said, "Oh, it's got it all in the book," and you're like, "Okay." But we did it all. But I always remember, I always used to do like a little warm up at the, was it 9 o'clock or whatever we used to start. And I always remember, you'd be like, right, we're starting. You'd always have, I can't remember her name, the one that she smoked. I'm not ready yet. It's not, oh, that's right. Don't wait for me. And because it wasn't a dancer's brain, all the ones who were dancers, we were all there doing it. Do you remember
Yeah,
that? And
yeah, yeah,
you always
yeah.
had those stragglers that were like, oh, go on, then start without me. Well, if you went to a dance class, you would have started, darling, and you'd have had to have joined in. And we had a lot of trouble from quite a few people, didn't we, as well?
Yeah, yeah. It was a really, really challenging contract. It
And
really was.
yet, stepping out went down really well.
Well, actually, stepping out started as a bit of a legacy there, didn't it? Because from that year, after, I mean,
Yes,
obviously, we know Stepping Out isn't a musical, or is it? That's another podcast. But, obviously, Stepping Out isn't a musical. It doesn't have any songs in it, but it obviously has a lot of dancing and acting. But it's funny how that's that year after year, Pitlochry then did
started doing
a
musicals.
musical. Yeah.
It should have been
So.
fab, wouldn't it, for us?
Oh, we'd have loved that, wouldn't we? That would have been great. It really would have been great. So when you came back, you got Jerry Springer very, very quickly, didn't you, after that contract? I remember you like speaking to you and you saying, "Oh yeah, I've got Jerry Springer," and it was like really, were you in
And I
that
didn't
shock?
want to do it. I didn't want to go
You're
back to
not.
London. No, I didn't want to go back to London. In fact, I
Okay.
got two jobs. And I remember my agent ringing me up saying, "You're going to make your mind up." And I knew Jerry was better. And I just said, "I just have to think about this. I just have to really think about it." So I didn't really want to go back to London.
And how was
Um,
that?
no, I mean, it's one of the one of the most way out shows I've ever done in my
I
life,
know.
really. It's just absolutely ridiculous. When I say to people I was dressed as a baby with a full nappy on, they go, right, with a mallet in my head at one point as well. And, it's just, it, it, I mean, my part didn't have as much swearing. I think I said the F word, whereas a lot of other people said a lot of other
Yeah.
horrendous words. And mine in the second act was just about leading Jerry through hell, really, not, and David Soul, he was just the most beautiful man.
I was
Really
he.
lovely, lovely man, beautiful man. And then I did the tour of it. And I can always remember we were in Newcastle and there was all these supporters outside, because they all thought it was to do with religion and the devil and all this. And they were all outside going, "Ban the show, ban." And all of a sudden, and we were watching this, and all of a sudden there was this crack of thunder and lightning and the rain just went and just soaked them all. We were all stood there going,
Oh, that's a bit weird.
"That's a bit weird." Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what we thought. We were like,
Because it is a bit of a mad show. I mean, the Ku Klux Klan tapping. I mean,
but I think if you take it for what it is, because I always said people thought it is to do with religion, and in a way it is. But I said what it is it's Jerry's nightmare with all the drugs he's on because he's dying. All
yeah.
the all the guests come back as the devil and da and this and everybody. And I remember once stopping someone outside of the Cambridge Theatre who was shouting at me. And I said, well, she said, "You're going to hell." I said, well, do you know what? I'm probably halfway there anyway, so I shouldn't worry. And then I went, "But have you seen the show?" And she went, well, no. I said, well, then how do you know? If you've not
Yeah.
seen something, you're just hearing what people are saying.
Yeah. Because you
I
did
mean,
that
my
with,
mum, my mum loved it and doesn't like swearing. She
I
did
thought it
say
was
afterwards, what else
great.
to say?
I thought it was a great show. Yeah, because you did that. Was Chris Key in that?
Yeah.
And Halen?
Who?
Halen Smith, Hayden?
Yes.
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 So Hayden, I did Panto at the Opera House in Belfast with. He was my genie when I was Princess Jasmine. And Chris, I was at GSA with.
You are?
I was at GSA with Chris.
Ah, okay. Oh, it was lovely, Chris.
So, yeah, lovely guy. And his wife was in my year. He was the year above us,
Ah.
Lucy. So yeah, so I know quite a few people that were in that show. So when you kind of obviously went into adjudicating and teaching and stuff like that, how did you navigate through lockdown? Because I remember seeing these fantastic videos of you teaching like in the street and like getting your whole neighborhood going, and it was wonderful.
And that was just by, well, it was by accident because I, that year, had planned to have June off. I got quite busy and I was like, and of course, March, and it was my birthday. In fact, I turn an OAP tomorrow. You do know this, don't you?
I
I'm
don't.
officially an OAP. I know. And I literally got my 60th birthday and I remember that. And my diary was like this. And I was halfway through a festival, but they were really lovely. They said to me, they said, we'll get a third weekend. We'll do at least 3. And we didn't. And they said, but we'll still pay you for your work because you obviously paid your train fare. So they did pay me, which was lovely.
Yeah.
But after that, everything was crossed out. And I was just like, what am I going to do? And then one of my friends said, do you think you could come and do like, a bit of exercises classes for us? And I'm like, go on then. So it was like a joke at the beginning. And I kind of so this girl had a ghetto blaster and I sort of went and stood. So I went to that part of my road, which is like split in two. And I went to that end. And the first day I couldn't believe it. There was just like 40 people came out of houses. And I'm going, oh, okay. Okay. And we sort of started. And I thought, I'm doing too much dance here because these people are not dance. I wasn't doing dance, but I was doing steps, little combinations. And I thought, no. And then they loved it so much. She said, can we do it tomorrow? So then I thought, right, I'm going to change this format a little bit more. And then and then eventually we did it 5 days a week.
Wow.
They used to bring out their tins of beans. And do you know what? I got out of exercise and it got me back into exercise because I was researching. I always made sure that they could do it because I had a lot of different age. I had children up to like 80-year-olds doing it as well.
Yeah.
And every day they'd come out and I'd do half that way and I'd turn around and do it. And we used to do like a warm up and then we'd do weights and we'd do squats and we'd do, it was amazing. And they wanted me to carry on. We did it for 4 months.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And so what did they pay you in the end?
No, what they used to do with now and then, they collect a bit of, I didn't want anything, or they give me a bottle of wine, or sometimes they used to collect a little bit of money. But I don't want anything. It's fine. No, because I did have to cut all the music, I suppose. And, I had to do, I couldn't just turn up. And we had different themes of music. I'd some days, what shall we have? And we used to have stuff they liked. And then other days, like we'd have a Queen Day. And you know what I mean? We used to have all sorts of different days. And they loved it. And they wanted me to carry it on after lockdown. But it just got too complicated. It would have been too complicated for me. And work started happening. And I just thought, to carry this on online, and they were going things like, oh, we could just turn up and pay for that. And I thought, oh, no, you'd have to be paying like so much. And I thought, it's just too much.
Yeah.
And they still call me aerobic Carrie. Oh, we remember those days, Carrie. I'm always like this going.
Aerobic Carrie. I love that. I see, and you're in my phone as Gin Carrie.
Oh, I've gone very expensive gin now, though. I'm an expensive gin girl.
Oh, okay.
I think lockdown did that for me because I used to go, so I was the only one in my house was going out, and I would go to the supermarket and they'd have like an offer on. I think, oh, I'll try that. So I started doing gin tasting on my own, obviously. I mean, I don't know about you, but that first 2 weeks of lockdown, you were like, it's sunny, I've got no work, and I was in the garden. After 2 weeks, I went, no, this can't, no, we can't be carrying on with this.
See, it was a bit different for me because I was still running the school.
Right.
So I was running the school and we were doing everything online. And obviously, I am no techie by any stretch of the imagination. So somebody had said to me, "Oh, have you heard of?" So a friend of mine was a personal trainer, and she said, "Oh, I'm doing this thing on called Zoom. So I've put all of my classes on Zoom." And I said, "What's Zoom?"
Yeah, I'm going to bring my dog up.
Oh,
come here. No, don't. Oh, she's been weird. Go on, Zoom. Yes.
Yeah, and so I just thought, let's do the oh look,
This is my little poodle.
She's so cute. You've always had dogs, though, haven't you?
Yeah, but I didn't expect to have a poodle.
No,
I've always had labs and retrievers.
I was going to say
and then I had a border collie. She died last year, and I wasn't going to get another dog. And then my sister, she's a rescue. This one, she was a little breeding dog. Bless her.
Oh, she's very, very cute.
Do you know what? They're amazing. I thought little dogs would be going around the block, and we go miles every day.
Do you?
And she's she sleeps on the end of my bed. I don't even know she's there. Anyway, go on. You were talking about Zoom.
Yeah, so Zoom. I mean, obviously, this PT just said to me, why don't you go on Zoom? And I was like, well, I don't even know what that was. That was on the Monday, and by the Thursday, we had some of our classes on Zoom. But the way our school works is we have ballet and we have tap separately in private lessons, but we have singing, dance, and drama all at the same time, and it all kind of goes round in different
Yeah,
rooms. So we had like different links, and kids were going on the wrong link at the wrong time, and
yeah,
oh my God, it was a nightmare. It really
yeah.
was.
I did a
Um,
bit of it. Did you not
yeah.
have kids going, oh, hello, would have children. I was working for somebody. She was doing a show and I was doing some stuff for her. And you'd have kids like this with their dog going, look at this, Miss Ellis, this is my dog. And I'm like, yeah, that's lovely. And then we'd have people walking past in their pajamas or somebody, I'd be like, or a boy, and I'd be like this going, or one little kid, a mother threw her into the door and she just sat there crying. And I'm going, oh,
I know. Oh, we had cats going on around us. We had, it was Sophie, don't do that. Jump off, don't jump on the
I
sofa.
know, I'm not doing any more. No, no, come on, in you come. I know, I know, I
Yeah.
know, just
Talking of
ridiculous.
cats, you did cats, didn't you?
Cats, yeah.
Was that the original, one of the original?
Yeah,
No.
I was in London with it. Yeah, I did it at
Yeah.
the New London.
Talk to us about that. I'd love to hear about that.
That's um, it's really weird because the guy did that thing for in Blackpool. We were talking about that, and I said I never thought I'd ever be in Cats because I didn't think I was a good enough dancer.
Hmm.
But the part I always wanted to do, if I ever did it, was Jellylorum. I'd seen the show a few times, and I thought if I ever get it, whatever. But I always thought they won't get me in there, so I'm not a good enough dancer. And then this opportunity, I did, that's so. I'd auditioned for Les Mis at the same time was going on.
Hmm.
And I got Les Mis, but I didn't really get anything of great in it. And they'd had me in for everything. I'd been auditioning for weeks thinking, and my agent came and said, it's good and bad news. I went, what? He said, well, they want you to be in it, but they're not offering you a cover. And I'd just done Lady Jacqueline and Me, My Girl. You know, when you make those choices and in the end, yeah, I actually turned it down, which you don't do that to Cameron McIntosh, so that didn't go down well. Anyway, just after that, I got Cats. And I couldn't believe it. He rang me up and joked and said I'd got a job, an ASM job in Wales or something. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be an ASM, thank you. He went, no, you've got Cats. Well, I was screaming my head off. And then I had to audition, and I didn't really want to do this, but they wanted me to audition for Grizabella because two parts are so different. Anyway, they offered me that as well. And
So you
I
were playing
remember,
Jellylorum and then covering Grizabella at the time?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was Jellylorum covering, but I did Grizabella a lot.
Okay.
I didn't, they made you feel in that show like you weren't very good. It was the
Okay.
week. So I felt like I'd gone back 20 years and gone back to being a dancer, which I never have ever been just a dancer, me, because I could always sing. So
Yeah.
it was very dance. I can't explain it. I had a brain and they were lovely, a lovely, lovely company. But the way you were treated, you were taught all the time. You weren't cat-like enough. You couldn't do you rehearsed all the time. You were absolutely shattered. But I do remember the first time I stood, how you want a serious man? I can't remember what my line was. I can't remember what my line was. And I didn't. I just stood there and went, I'm in Cats and I'm a cat and you're a cat. And I was absolutely thrilled. You know, I was like
Yeah.
34. I wasn't even I was the oldest then. Going, I'm a cat. I remember one of the girls who went in with me and we put our makeup on, and it took us hours, and we looked ridiculous. I mean, I used to be able to go up at the half in the end and makeup and everything, and we'd all be down. We used to have 2 5-minute calls. You used to have a second 5-minute because no one was ever there, and then you frantically see all these cats running out of rooms going under the stage. It was just mad. I mean, a brilliant show to be in, a really tiring show to be in because you
Yeah.
just don't stop. But I was very lucky to work with Gillian Lynn. I can't think of
Yeah.
his name. The other director came back in to revamp the show. What's his name? Famous director with a beard. Anyway, they'd originally done it and they were revamping the show and they came back in. And when they came back in, we were just like this because they kept saying things like, wow, that was amazing, everybody, fantastic. And we were all going, did he just say what? Trevor Nunn it
Oh,
was.
Trevor Nunn. Yeah, of
And
course.
they were just so inspiring. And I don't know what had happened to that show. It just felt like people just wanted to slice people in half and rip them back into I don't know, but they came in and everyone was just like this going, oh my God, this is just incredible, to be
Right.
working with those two anyway. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a hard show. My mum said I'd lost me when I did that show. So what's happened to you? And I went, well, you're just tired all the time, and you're just told you're not very good.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
always say
It's
to
sad.
students, don't ever think when you go into the business, you're not going to get told you're not very good. Because that show was.
Yeah. What was your favorite show? If you could say, because I've got favorite shows and I've got favorite companies. And do you know what? Actually, my favorite show that I did wasn't a show that I had a particularly big part in. My favorite show was Carousel. I
Oh,
absolutely
I love
loved doing
Carousel.
that. I loved
What did
Carousel.
you play?
I covered Carrie, but didn't
Oh,
didn't play it. Loved it. Absolutely loved that
I
character,
love that
that
show.
show. Yeah, and now she was just dancing in it, so I didn't even have a big part. And I think sometimes because I didn't have a big part and I didn't have to worry about my voice and it was a
You're
very
more
dancey
relaxed.
character. Yeah, just relaxed and had fun and partied and went to all the parties. Was out late. It was on tour, so it was good fun. Yeah, it was a really lovely show, but there's different shows that I have different things that I've taken from them. Like some might be a friendship that I absolutely love, or mum, that show was just so much fun. And literally, I mean, we just used so many naughty things. Like there was this little frog that we used to have, and whoever ended up with a frog in the carousel ballet was the first round at the bar. It was so naughty, and literally, you'd see this frog being passed across the stage.
And no one else would know, though.
No one would
No one else
know.
would know, though. Only you lot. Yeah, I
The
know.
only thing with that contract is that it didn't used to come down till 11. It was
Yeah, go on.
such a long show.
So did you not get last orders?
Literally, that's why the frog was there. That person had to get at least one round in.
Whether you've got changed or not, just run to the bar
Yeah,
now.
run to the bar, go, go, go.
I
Yeah,
think
so
it's a
what would you
difficult
say?
one to say favourite show.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I did love doing was Honk. I
Yeah,
love doing that
you used
show.
to talk about that a lot.
I really love doing that show. I like Me and My Girl, and I like Phantom. But Phantom was very hard. Phantom's the only show that I've ever done where I've had to go, I'm really sorry I can't come to the park tonight. Oh, I had to rest. And it really
Yeah,
it's not me because I'm not like that, but I had to.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, Christine doesn't do a toppy. Christine's toppy is recorded.
Yeah,
Mine 2 a night.
yeah,
And
that's
at one
quite a
point,
lot.
I got right inside my head and I started over warming up. And there was one night, and it was coming in the first managers, and I'm going, I'm not going to get it. And I didn't get it. Nothing came out. You wouldn't have known. None of the audience would have known because it was everyone else was singing, and the MD went, that was it. Then my brain was going, and I went to a singing teacher, and she just said to me, "Carrie, you can sing a top C. It still goes in the range of that. So don't, if you feel like your voice is a bit tired that night, stop beating yourself up and just do a C." And then some nights I did, and then I started going,
Right.
it's not the be all and end all to do a top E.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, doing that every night,
Yeah,
that's a
two a
lot.
night, 8 shows a week. Christine, did she get a night off? She had an alternate, didn't
Yeah, I
she?
mean, I got quite far for that actually, and it's shared now.
Oh,
Shared.
is
You
it?
don't.
I
Yeah,
thought that.
you don't do the matinees. So you
Ah,
just do the evening shows. But yeah, didn't get it, but um, I just love that show. I love it. It's there's just something beautiful about it. Tell us about the transition when you kind of said, "Do you know what?" Because a little bit like me, you kind of made a decision and went, "Do you know what? I'm done. Like I'm done with performing." Whereas I know a lot of people have kind of transition out and it's not really a decision they make. It's almost like the industry makes the decision for them. But you made a real kind of decision to go, do you know what?
yeah.
Actually, I don't want to do this anymore. Um,
Yeah, I think you see, I'd always taught anyway, and I've always taught and choreographed, and I, I've never just and I had done some adjudicating anyway, if you know what I
yeah.
mean. But then
Okay.
when I said to my mum, I knew I was going to stay here, and I just said to mum, I want to become a proper. I don't want to just be. So then I did my whatever doing for to do the federation. That took a while because you don't just become it. You go to interviews and then you've got to go out adjudicating and people come watch you and it's all that process goes on. And then after a few years of doing that, then I could apply to be an All England. It's very different now. You don't have to do that now. Biff and All England are very separate these days. But and then I became an All England adjudicator. But I've always had what I say I call them normal festivals where they're not and I love those. I do some really lovely ones of those.
They're
I
just
do
kind
one
of
down.
local ones.
Yeah, I do. Well, I do one in
you.
Farnham called Bright Star, and it's just one of the nicest competitions. It's a love, and she'll just say, give as many medals as you want and do what you want, and it's just heaven. You know,
That's
it's
nice.
not about marks, and it's not about have I qualified for the All England, you know, and then I started doing more teaching in colleges, and I did enjoy it for a while. And I was like head of drama in a couple of places, head of musical theatre in one, head of drama. I made me laugh. And I did enjoy it. It was just a different way of life, I suppose. I've always been a person that's worked anyway. I can't just not do anything.
Yeah.
I'm just not one of those people. And you know, the adjudicating took off more, and a lot of it is reputation, because that's what it is in adjudicating. People like you. You know, I would never be horrible to anyone.
Yeah.
You know, I see some musical theatre and I'm going, it's a choice of songs sometimes more than anything, Shelley. And I always try to say, look, you know, try doing it like this, or try singing it, try this exercise when you're doing it. And you tend to get a lot of these kids, they're trying so hard that they're pushing, and you're going, you're going to crack, you're going to crack. And I'll go to the right, you're going to crack, and they crack, and I go, there you go, because your voice is just, but they're all still learning, aren't they? You know,
we find that a lot. You're so right about the song choices, because obviously we've got a lot of kids that go to drama school now. My school's been running for 18 years, so we have a lot of kids now that are really, really good. I mean, believe me, at the beginning when they couldn't even do step touching in time to the music, it was painful. But now we've got a really lovely group of kids that are amazing. But that is so different, isn't it now? So different.
Absolutely.
I mean, I just think the way that the school is, and the way that maybe even adjudicating was, you know, 18 years ago, is so different now. I think very much this generation, I don't think they realise the hard work that's got to go into it.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, the amount of times I've had so many, not arguments, but you know, you have people going, oh well, I think that section must be very easy to adjudicate. I'm talking about men, and I go, right, it's just subjective, really, isn't it? And I go, no, it's not subjective. Every different, I don't think what people don't realise as an adjudicator, you have to have a vast knowledge of. I mean, I love National and Greek. That's one of I love MT, character, you know, ballet, contemporary, lyrical. There's so many commercial. There's so many sections you've got to have, you know, and you'll know a bit more about something that you don't, because it's just the nature of the beast, you know. But people just think you sit there and, they haven't got a clue. And every time I've ever had a writer who's never done it before goes, oh my God, I didn't realise it was as complicated as this. Because not only are you saying, is that better than this? You're doing cups, and I love my job, but it is a hard job.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hard job. I mean, it can be, sometimes you see some work and you just go, I'm just so honoured. I mean, there was a guy at this last festival, black lad. Oh my God, amazing lad. Honestly, there was just something, he could just literally do a head turn and you'd go, yeah, and what are you going to do now? He just had something. It was just amazing.
You can't teach. I often say that to my students.
There's few people like that, aren't there? And they just have it from the inside. And it's like when people are tapping, I'm always going, tap starts from the bottom and it comes out of the top. And I can't stand, I mean, you can be a good tapper and you can have loads of personality, but if you don't marry the two.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, I always say, what do you go to see a show? What is it you want to be? And I go, entertained. And what is it you're watching? Well, their faces. Precisely. I know you're watching there, you know. I remember somebody saying, well, 42nd Street, you'll be lucky if it's grade 2 tap. And I'm going, that's not what that's about. That is about a formation of 30 odd people tapping together and making a sound. And that's just ignorance as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I remember one of my boyfriend's dad saying to me, what do you know, you can't do much. You only faff around on stage for a couple of hours. That can't tire you out, can it?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, thinking of doing 8 shows a week now, it would kill me.
I think it would me now. I think when you're there, and I always said, you know, I think a lot of people just think we get up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and go do a show. I used to be at Pineapple doing classes. I used to be swimming, gymming, singing lessons, drama classes, because you don't get fit doing a show. do you?
No, you don't. And
Because you're doing the same
you
thing.
get show fit, and then I feel like I think some shows I did, I really lost. I would always kind of, I was always very, very slim. I didn't have to really watch what I ate. I do now because I'm of an age, but I would get kind of show fit, and then I'd almost stay
Peak.
at
Yeah,
a level, and then I would then start putting on weight and not feeling so healthy, and not and being like, oh, actually, maybe I need to rein that in, and I need to, because especially in our generation of dancers, it was all what you look like. It is very different
absolutely.
now.
Absolutely. It has become hard because I don't want to offend anybody, just the way the world has gone,
Yeah,
you
I know what
know.
you mean.
It sometimes is it's very difficult sometimes to know what people are as well. And I'm very open. I don't care. I don't care what people are. They can be whatever they want. It doesn't bother me, but there's been an odd times when you've gone, you know, and I don't
Yeah,
mean any
yeah.
disrespect to them. Because you can't always tell. And sometimes
How
with
does that
names,
work with like adjudicating? So, I
well,
mean,
in adjudicating, they don't really like you to say boys and girls if you can help it. It's really hard. Um, they don't like you to put anybody into you're a female, you're a male. It is hard sometimes. It is hard if you're talking about a male dancer. I remember once being somewhere and I was trying to not say the word male. And I
yeah,
was like, what I wanted to say was, your ballet was really good because obviously your elevation was great because males, that's what then, in ballet, in the ballet world in particular, that's what they're known for. And I couldn't say that. I had to say, so of course, you're known for that. And I'm thinking, what are you saying?
yeah.
It's a
Because
very
actually, at the
difficult.
end of the day, the physique of a male is the physique of a male, isn't it? And that's
Yeah,
going to, as you know, I'm very much like you. I don't care who I speak to
I
or who,
don't.
it makes no difference to me. But at the end of the day, genetically, you are a female or a male, and when you're dancing, that's always going to be the case, isn't it?
Yeah, I was saying to someone, I got not stopped. I was at a meeting, and I was just saying to somebody else, I was saying, when I was in the theatre world, especially in the West End, everybody, you didn't look at anyone and go, you're pink, black, green, orange.
Yeah,
Everybody was just the same. We were a
yeah.
company, and we all got on. And then somebody said to me, oh no, that's what we're trying to stop. And I just looked at them and went, have you done the West End? Been in the West End? You've been in a big company? No, probably not. And that camaraderie, I can just remember in Cats, everyone would go eyes to half, lips to lemon, all sayings and, oh, look at the econ and all those things. And you were never offended, oh, bitch, and all the things that people would call you. And you'd just be like, Mrs. Bitch to you. And it was part of the banter. I don't
Yeah.
know whether you can say all that now. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know.
yeah, I agree. I do agree with you that some of the and that is a lot of stuff that you get as being a company. There are the in jokes, there are the frog that gets passed around for the pub,
Exactly.
there are the silly dressing romantics that you do, you
Exactly.
know. And when you've done a show for a year, 2 years, you do get bored. And it's funny, I had this conversation with one of my students last week, and she was saying, well, what was the show that you ever did it the longest? And I said, well, I was in a show for a year and a half. And that is a long time. And did you get bored? Yeah, of course I did. Of course I got bored. And so I do stupid things like it would be the five, and I'd decide to get ready at the five with eyelashes on, wig, makeup, just to kind of do things to just keep yourself sane. And it almost became, I remember a friend of mine was doing Saturday Night Fever at the time, and he was in the show. He'd been in it for about 3 years, and he came in and he did a workshop at GSA, and we became friends. And he said that each night he would go, right, tonight I'm going on to pay for my trainers. Tomorrow I'm going on to pay for my microwave, to almost just to give him some kind of focus for that particular show. Of
We all know we had bad nights and good nights.
course you did.
Saturday nights were always the best night in the West End. I mean, especially you did one of those back-to-back shows where you literally came off, the half was being called, and everyone then just got like this like second madness in the second show, and everyone was just so high. And I just remember those times, and then you'd remember a midweek matinee thinking, oh my god, you got to get through it. But and rehearsals, I always used to say in Catch, you're always in rehearsal, and I used to say to everyone, look, we've got to come in for them. We might as well just get on with it. Being miserable makes a rehearsal hard.
Yeah. Well, did
I
they
think we
rehearse
should.
you a lot for her cats then, even when it was
Oh,
up?
a lot of rehearsals. That's why
Really?
everyone was always so tired. And I mean, when Gillian Lynn and Trevor Nunn came in, we were doing the newer version in the day and the old version at night. And you'd see people go, is it one, two, three? Is it four? Is it?
Yeah,
Because it was
that's
like,
hard.
and then they did close the show down. If I remember rightly, we closed it down. We carried on doing it. And then I think they closed the show down for a week to then put the new version into Sitube. I think that's what they did in the end. And everyone by the end of that was like, I remember, I've never done this. I remember when we were working at night and working in day. And not everybody was, because we had some new company members coming in. John Partridge and people like that came into it at that
Okay.
point. Yeah. And I remember we had like a tea break and I actually fell asleep, which is so not like me. And I remember some morning, Gary, come on. I'm like, let's go. And they went, yeah, you were flat out, mate. And I thought, my God, I must be tired because that is not me
No, that's definitely
mentally.
not you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, I do know people that have little nana naps in. I mean, that's me now. I'm terrible. I love a nana nap. About if I haven't got Ayana, because Ayana's 50% at her dad's, then I will have, I'll have a little 3 o'clock, half an hour, and then bing, I'm awake again. I love a nana nap.
I just can't sleep in the day. I'm rubbish
Can
at
you
that.
not?
No.
Oh, no, I
No, but
wish
when
I
I was in
used.
a show, if I was in a show, I think when I was in Fiddler and I used to have a dressing room of my own, especially on a matinee,
Oh, I
I would
always
just
used to have
close my
one.
eye. I used to just like have something to eat. And I mean, I remember some of the places I had a bed in the room, so that was even
Yeah.
better. And I just settled down for a few hours, just half an hour, because too much noise in a theatre anyway. But I used to just get a little bit rest, and then yeah, I'm fine now. Off I go.
Off you go, yeah. So
Mm.
what with the adjudicating now, what is your kind of week like? Is it half adjudicating, half
It's varied. I
choreographing?
mean,
How does it work?
um, just recently, I've just been away a lot doing adjudication. So from January, I've just done quite a lot of long festivals. Like I did, Milton Keynes was a 10-dayer, and
Wow.
first of it was like 8-9 days. Then I came back and I finished it, and the other
And
one
how
was
does that work? Because I don't know anything about the adjudicating world really. Do they pay for your to stay somewhere or do
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah. So what you
yeah,
get, depending, so if it's like a Federation festival or an All England festival, you get an out.
a
It's so many hours.
package?
You can work up to 9 hours, 6 hours, or three. If you go over 9 hours, then there's like an overtime, but it doesn't include breaks. So generally, most of them don't, and it's quite a lot of money now to go into overtime because they're trying to stop adjudicators working for more than 9 hours because it's a long time. Um, and so you get a fee for that, and then you also get travel fees. So if you drive, it's
Mhm.
45p a mile, or if
Yeah.
you go on the train, you get your train fare. And then they usually put you up in a hotel. I'm always happy when they put me up in a Premier Inn. I love Premier Inns. I flipping love them because you know what you're going to get. So yeah. And sometimes I've stayed in the most amazing places where you go in. I remember I did Bournemouth Festival and I stayed in this little boutique festival. Oh my God, the room was just beautiful. And I had this little ante room where I could go and sit and read if I wanted to. It was just beautiful.
Do you get quite lonely being away though on your own?
No, not
You
really.
don't.
No.
It doesn't bother you because obviously being in theatre all your life and being such a great company member because you were certainly in our company, but because you were always such an outgoing person and the life and soul of the party and putting bottles in your mouth and seeing how many beer bottles you can fit in and crazy things like that.
Three, I think it is, isn't it? I think so.
But being away on your own a lot of the time, you that doesn't bother you.
No, because when you've done a day's work, like adjudicating, your brain's been working, you've been talking all day, and you're
Yeah.
like, so a lot of that, because sometimes people go, do you want to go out for dinner? And I'm like, no, no. Are you going to go and take yourself for dinner? No, no. Just give me a sandwich. I want to go back to my room. I usually ring home and see what's going on and check on everything. So, and then, yeah, I actually quite like that. Because
You
usually by the
time.
time, to be honest, by the time you get back to your hotel and you've got yourself ready for bed, it's practically time to go to bed anyway. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so you don't really have that. But sometimes it's just nice to maybe go and have a gin and tonic in a bar if you're not too late and just chill for a bit. But I don't tend to drink when I'm adjudicating anyway.
Yeah. Not even a Coronation Street gym break.
No,
I don't know
no.
if because we had some problems technically at the beginning of this podcast. I don't know if the recording caught this, but me and Carrie used to sit time each other to see if we could get from from my little
Your
place
flat, it was
where
your
I
flat.
was.
It
It
was
was
your
my
flat.
little
We were at your
flat.
flat.
and we used to be able to get to the off license and back to get
Did he buy
gin.
tins?
Yeah. And then we managed to do it in the Coronation Street ad break.
We were so sad, weren't we?
We were. We really, really were. So just to wrap up, where is Carrie going now? How long do you think you're going to continue to do this for? Are you quite happy to continue, or
I
do you
think
think,
I will. I can't, yeah, tomorrow I turn 66 and
will
officially I
you
should
really?
be,
Oh my God, Carrie, you
yeah.
look amazing. You look
Um,
amazing.
yeah, but I should have retired at 60, shouldn't I? So for everybody else, you'll be lucky if you're retiring before you're 70, where it's going. But
Yeah.
I don't get my pension for another month, but I mean, that's going to be a weird thing, getting like a regular income every week. Every month. It's going to be very strange, that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, I'm really busy. I think I've got about 19 festivals in this year so far.
Wow.
Um, and I'm about to, I can't really say too much about it, but I'm about to do something that's going to be launched this month that should be really good. Another little thing to and then I'm going to do some more teaching in Blackpool, and there's another place I'm going to do some teaching at. So I always keep my hand in. I would like to do more musical theatre. That's what I would like to teach more of that. I was almost thinking the other night, some girl was going for an audition, and I just did a Zoom thing with her. And I'm thinking, could I set up my own little, and coach people online? I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I don't
I
know.
think the only thing with
I can't imagine me doing nothing.
yeah, yeah.
Not yet, anyway. I
I
don't
can't
know.
believe you're 66. You honestly, you look
Neither
incredible.
can I. Neither can I. It's like
Because you would have been what,
30,
35,
40s,
30? Oh,
40s.
maybe 40s, yeah.
So I've done my Scottish, yeah. I probably was about 45, 44, 45, something like that, I think.
So you're about my age now when we met. I know. And I was like 23 or something.
That where you
Crazy.
were? Oh my God.
Yeah, I was so young. Yeah, it was one of my first
Phil's
contracts.
a bit younger than us, isn't it? A bit younger than me, I think, Phil. I want to go.
Yeah.
Phil just turned.
And do you see anyone from that company?
Do I see
Do you
anybody?
see or hear from anyone?
What, from stepping out?
Yeah.
Well, she
Lou?
died, didn't she?
Lynette, I know, the
No,
lovely Lynette. I know, that's
she
so
died.
sad.
It was really
Yeah.
bizarre. It was
Yeah.
so bizarre because I remember being in whatever I was in when I lived in London. All of a sudden, she went hello, and I turned around. Oh my goodness, who is it,
Oh,
Lynette?
yeah. Lynette was our
Um,
Rose in Stepping Out, wasn't she? She was fabulous. Bless
um,
her. And what about Louise? Louise, I can't think of her
no,
name. Don't know whatever happened
is
to
she
her.
not an agent now?
Oh, she might be. It goes in funny waves, doesn't it?
I don't know
Our
whether Amanda is
industry.
still with her. I think they're still married, aren't they,
I
Amanda?
don't
And
know.
think they are.
Ian.
I don't know what he does now because it was he thought he was going to be taken over, didn't he, Pitlochry, and then they did the
Yeah.
dirty thing, didn't they?
Yeah.
He was a good director
He
as well. I
was.
like
He
him.
was great. He was great.
Really good director. Um, who else was in it? No, I don't know what happened to half of them, to be honest.
No,
Oh,
I
little,
mean, it's a long time ago.
what's she called? Anne, was it Anne Scott Jones who played Dolly?
Yes.
She now and then we have like a little chat, or she'll send me up to a picture, go, oh, hello, Carrie, how are you?
Oh,
It's
lovely.
quite a few of them died though, wasn't there? Those older actors have died now at
Yeah.
Pitlochry. But I believe it's a very different way now. You negotiate your wage, don't you? And I think
Oh,
the lodging, I think that's what I was told. I was told that like the accommodation is different now, and yeah,
yeah. It was a challenging time, but hey, I met you, so
I know,
good things
I
came
know.
from it.
It was, yeah. Seems like a year. I don't know. It's
It
not
feels like
that long
another
ago, but
lifetime. I think during that period, I've been married twice and hadn't got a child.
yeah. Are you happy now? You're happy, aren't
Oh,
you?
very happy. Yeah, yeah. I've been with my husband we've only been married for 2 years, but we've been together for 10. So
But I
yeah, it was lovely.
remember one time talking to you, and you're still married to your other husband because you're about to go out. I can't remember why we were talking. I can't remember why. And is your daughter his? It's your
Yes,
first husband's child.
yes. Yeah,
So
yeah.
what do you share? Is she with you and with
Yeah, so
him?
we didn't used to. We used to have I had her 80%, but then he worked for BA and his shifts changed and she was really missing him. So yeah, now it's 50-50, which I hate. I really miss her when she's there. But You know,
How do you do it? Does he go for a week and then comes to you for a week,
no,
or?
it all depends on his shift patterns because he works for BA. So it's annoying because my now husband Rob and I navigate our whole lives around a shift pattern, which is very frustrating, as you can imagine. But it is what it is. We've done it for 10 years now, so it's kind
How
of
old is she?
he's 13.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that'll
know.
change in another couple of years. That'll change again.
Yeah, it will. And I think they'll probably get to a point where, I don't know whether she dances, but I don't know whether she'll do this as a career. I don't think she will at all. And
You
and
know,
actually I'm quite glad she doesn't want to do it as a
she
career.
good. Is she good though?
She's good. Yeah, she's a great little performer. She could be amazing, but just doesn't really put in the effort.
Okay. Okay.
She could have been really good. Beautiful singing voice, and yeah, looks great. All face, very very smiley. Don't know where she gets it from. Um, but yeah, no, she's great, and it's just navigating life with juggling the businesses and her. It's hard at times, but I don't know what I'll do in the future. Who knows? Who knows? I think my schools. I think I'll still have my school for a while, and eventually, maybe just put somebody in to manage it.
You teach still? Still
No,
teach? No.
not now. Not now.
So
No.
you've got teachers because you taught somewhere else, didn't you? And then did you not teach for somebody else, or no?
I don't know. I may have done. I used to teach a lot. When we came back from Pitlochry, I taught a lot for
Yeah.
different people, and then obviously then I bought a oh, how weird is that? Look who's just phoning me, Matt Sterling. Shall I answer it?
Yeah. Go on.
Matthew Sterling. Guess who I'm on a podcast at the moment, and guess who's on it?
Hiya.
Hello? Hello?
Has he gone?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Absolutely. Of course, darling.
It's Carrie Ellis from Pitlochry.
Good God, how are you?
I'm good. I'm really good.
Can I call you back?
Yes, no worries.
All right, darling. Bye.
Oh, take care.
Bye. She said, take care.
Oh my
Bless him.
God.
Yeah. So we're still very good friends.
Oh.
I know. But how weird is that he should call while
Yeah.
we're on a podcast? Because we don't speak
Yeah.
that often. Carrie, it's been so lovely to speak to you today. It's, to hear your amazing experience in the industry is going to be a really lovely listen, I know, for so many people. And for, even for graduates, people that are just going into the industry, to be able to talk about all those amazing shows and stuff you've been in. And best of luck with all your adjudicating, and stay in touch.
I will do. And thank you for having me on.
Oh, it's been lovely. It's been so nice to see you. And
Nice to see you too, my lovely.
yeah.
It's like we've never not seen each
I
other.
know. I know. Just like
Anyway.
setting up our little dressing room together, didn't we?
Yeah. I thought, yeah.
All right, darling.
All
Well,
right, darling, you take
Thanks
care.
so much. Mwah.
Lots of love.
Take
Bye,
care.
darling. Bye. 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 Bye.
Thank you for listening to Treading the Boards to Business. We hope we added some sparkle to your day. Please like, subscribe and share our channel. And if you know of any lovies who may want to share their story, do get in touch. We hope the rest of your day is filled with glamour and glitter.